Hello students, welcome to Time Sessions. This discussion is on the verbal ability section of the IPM 2023 actual exam. So let me take you through all the questions that were presented to test takers in this section of the exam. We begin with the comprehension part, and here are the standard directions. Read the following passage and choose the answer that is closest to each of the questions that are based on the passage. So, we have these paragraphs that make up this passage, and after that come the questions. Let me first take you through the passage and then I'll deal with the questions. So, let me also number each of these paragraphs so that referring back to specific paragraphs will be easier and not I will not be doing a lot of back and forth because of this. So, the general idea, the author begins this way: of being fit is usually assumed to be exercising regularly and having a healthy diet. It's true to some extent, but this is not always the case. People don't realize that sleep also plays a crucial part when it comes to physical and mental well-being. It's a restorative process which shouldn't be negotiable. So, clearly, the author begins with telling us what is the general assumption regarding fitness, that if a person exercises regularly and consumes a healthy diet, then these factors contribute to making a person or keeping an individual fit. But the author also says that all this is true, but only to some extent, and it is not all the time the case. So, it is not always the case is also something that he adds to it. People don't realize that sleep also plays a crucial part when it comes to physical and mental well-being. So, what does sleep also do? It plays, or it regulates rather, physical and mental well-being, in addition to, of course, exercising regularly and having a healthy diet. Why is this the case? Because sleep, the author says, is a restorative process which shouldn't be negotiable, which means we should not compromise on our sleep hours, and we should sleep for a fixed number of hours is what the word negotiable means. Then the author says hectic work hours, increasing stress levels, and an unhealthy lifestyle can cause irregular sleep patterns. So, what causes irregular sleep patterns? The authors enumerated here: hectic work hours, increasing stress levels, and an unhealthy lifestyle. These not only disturb one's daily routine but can also hamper one's health, leading to lifestyle conditions like deranged cholesterol and diabetes. So, irregular sleep patterns, of course, disturb one's daily routine is something which is known for sure. The author says this can also hamper one's health, and this in turn can lead to those kind of lifestyle conditions which he has mentioned, like deranged cholesterol and diabetes. So, diabetes we all know, and what is deranged cholesterol? When our cholesterol levels fluctuate or they are not maintained at the at those levels which are necessary for being healthy. It's a preconceived notion that cholesterol and diabetes are usually genetic diseases, and unhealthy eating patterns and lifestyle exacerbate them. It is not generally known that sleep deprivation can put a person at risk of both deranged cholesterol and diabetes. So, the author mentions something which people conceive or consider to be true, or the only true. The author says that what is the preconceived notion? That cholesterol and diabetes are genetic diseases, and what exacerbates them or aggravates them are unhealthy eating patterns and lifestyle. But what people don't know is that sleep deprivation, improper or unhealthy sleep patterns can put a person at risk of both these diseases, and this is something that people should be aware of. Then, sleep helps your body and mind repair and recharge themselves. So, the author tells us the advantages of sleep. But things can go awry if one is sleep deprived. Insomnia can generally make the body work abnormally. It affects the mental and physical abilities to prepare the body for the next day. It leaves the brain exhausted, affecting the natural functioning of the body. So, the author tells us how sleep is good for us, what benefits it holds, and then he says if a person is sleep deprived, then everything can go out of form. What can happen is that if a person does not get enough sleep, or if a person is absolutely sleep deprived, then this may harm the body's function, and it also leaves the brain very tired, and everything, the natural functioning, the overall functioning of the body gets affected. Lack of sleep can lead to higher cholesterol and blood pressure. Sleep deprivation can lower levels of leptin, a hormone that stabilizes metabolism and appetite. So, there is this hormone leptin, and what is its role in the human body? To stabilize metabolism and appetite, so that we don't feel too hungry, or we don't not feel hungry at all. Now, when we are sleep deprived, then the levels of leptin decrease. This can also lead to obesity if left unchecked. So, when the metabolism and appetite functions go out of order, then what happens? People start consuming more food, and then it leads to obesity. Sleep deprivation has been found to raise levels of ghrelin. Now, this is another hormone, and it's called the hunger hormone. What does it do? It causes people to feel hungry. Now, when the levels of leptin go down and the levels of ghrelin go up, then what happens? An individual will start feeling more and more hungry. And what triggers all of this? Sleep deprivation and decreased levels of leptin, the satiety hormone. That's why people seek relief in foods that raise blood sugar. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends that adults should get a minimum of 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So, this is a recommendation of the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Staying up late can lead to consuming unhealthy snacks and junk food high in carbs and sugar. All this increases the risk of type 2 diabetes and is equally connected to obesity. Okay, so this is clear. Then finally, the author concludes by saying, just like any other routine, having a definite sleep pattern can help a person maintain a cycle of rest and activity. Sleeping at the same time every day and waking up on time will encourage quality sleep. Proper relaxation of body and mind before sleeping means that one should keep the mobile phone aside for at least half an hour before bed. It helps if the room is dark and quiet. Plus, one can always read a good book or listen to soothing music, which can lull one into deep sleep. Okay. Now, we come to the questions. So, we have question number 1. In what way does sleep contribute to a person's well-being? The options are by increasing a person's appetite. Can we go for this choice? In what way does sleep contribute to a person's well-being? Is it by increasing a person's appetite or by keeping it stable? So, this is not right. Is it by adding power and strength to the muscles? We did not come across this fact being mentioned anywhere. By helping the body replenish its resources, or by regularizing a person's daily routine. Now, if you go back to the third and the fourth paragraphs and go through them again, you will find the answer to this question, or between the two choices that are left, you will be able to decide which is better. Sleep helps your body and mind repair and recharge themselves, and previously the author says sleep is a restorative process which shouldn't be negotiable. Okay. Lack of sleep can lead to whatever is mentioned over here, and the last paragraph says that having a definite sleep pattern can help a person maintain a cycle of rest and activity, and then thereby balance both of these. So, can we say by regularizing a person's daily routine or by helping the body replenish its resources? 3 is meaningful and not 4, because the author has not mentioned that sleep regularizes a person's daily routine. The author says that it can help us lead a healthy life, but this doesn't make sense. Okay, so we have option 3 as the correct answer for this question. Question number 2 now. As per the passage, which of these sentences is not correct? Okay, so keep track of the question. The question asks us to pick that choice which is not correct, not factual, not supported by any part of the passage. So, while going through the options, we'll come across 3 that can be confirmed from information from the passage, and we'll need to identify and eliminate them. Regular exercising and eating healthy food alone ensure fitness. The second one, irregular sleep patterns can result in health problems. The author does mention this, that if we are sleep deprived, then we may come across or we may face diseases which are associated with other aspects and people are not aware of them. So, this has to be eliminated. Insufficient sleep can lead to obesity. The author clearly mentions this, that lack of sleep can lead to higher cholesterol and blood pressure, and sleep deprivation can lower levels of leptin, a hormone that stabilizes metabolism and appetite, and all this can lead to obesity if left unchecked. So, we can eliminate 3 because it also is true from the passage. The fourth one. One's body and mind should be properly relaxed to ensure good sleep. This is also something we came across in the passage. So, let us eliminate this also. Now, we are left with 1. Regular exercise and eating healthy food alone ensure fitness. In the beginning itself, the author mentions that the general idea of being fit is usually assumed to be exercising regularly and having a healthy diet. It's true to some extent, he says, but not entirely true, and he says that it's a lot of people are not aware that sleep plays a crucial part in keeping one mentally and physically healthy. So, if this option says regular exercise and eating healthy food alone ensure fitness, this is not something that the author has supported. So, this is the correct answer here. We have 1 as the suitable choice. Okay. Question number 3. In order to remain physically fit, what must one do? Snack frequently. Well, the author would certainly not agree with this, and the author has told us that this is not something we should be indulging in. Maintain a set sleep pattern. Yes. Raise levels of ghrelin. What does this hormone do? The author has clearly said that sleep deprivation is directly proportional to an increase in the levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and of course, it also decreases levels of leptin, the satiety hormone, and that is why people start snacking more, eating more, and this leads to obesity among other problems. So, to remain physically fit, one must raise levels is not correct. Read a good book every night. The author does recommend reading a good book every night, but then what does he say? One can read a good book or listen to soothing music which can lull one into deep sleep. So, he recommends this for getting into deep sleep, but not to remain physically fit. Of course, it is important to know that or to remember that the author does say that if we have, he says that sleep is not negotiable and we must sleep for fixed hours every day. Sufficient sleep, deep, good, relaxing sleep is important, and this ensures physical and mental well-being and fitness. But we cannot say that to remain fit, we must read a good book every night. To ensure that we are able to sleep, this is something that will help, is what the author has mentioned. The next question. The main focus of the passage is on what? Is it on the dangers of high levels of cholesterol and diabetes? The author mentions both of these diseases to discuss something, and what is the main idea in the passage? Throughout, the author has discussed the importance of sleep to both mental and physical well-being. So, the main focus is certainly not to talk about the dangers of increased levels of both of these. Ill effects of junk food high in carbs and sugars, that is also not the intention or the primary purpose of the author. Stability of leptin and ghrelin in the human body. The author mentions that the levels of leptin and ghrelin need to be balanced or remain steady so that we stay fit. But is that the main focus of the discussion? Certainly not. Okay, so the answer is option 4. And what is it? Perils of insomnia and irregular sleep patterns. Okay, throughout the author has discussed what sleep deprivation can lead to, what can insomnia impact, or how badly it can adversely impact mental and physical well-being, the advantages of a good sleep and everything related to this. So, this is what the main focus is. The next one. The objective of the passage is to do what? Is it to expose the reader to disinformation? Now, what does this word disinformation mean? Disinformation means false information. Throughout, the author has given us a relevant and actual factual information pertaining to the topic under discussion. What is that? Sleep, the bad effects of sleep deprivation, the advantages of a good sleep. So, is it to expose the reader to disinformation? No, certainly not. Let's eliminate it right away. Is it to present psychological insights to the reader? There have not been any psychological insights that the author gives to the reader. Is it to advise the reader or provide medical input to the reader? No medical inputs have also been provided per se. Yes, the author does advise the reader, and what is that advice? He advises the reader to ensure that about the benefits of sleep and about the adverse impacts of being sleep deprived. Okay, so we have 3 as the correct choice. Question number 6. Being deprived of sleep can result in what? Hunger, satiation. Is hunger satisfied when we are sleep deprived? No, it's the opposite. Is it terminal illness? Now, the author does mention that we are at a risk of disturbed levels of cholesterol and diabetes, but there is no terminal illness that the author says is related or connected directly to sleep deprivation. So, we can eliminate this. Can we say mental exhaustion or metabolism loss? Being deprived of sleep can result in mental exhaustion. Now, how do we confirm this? The author has said that things can go awry if one is sleep deprived. Insomnia can generally make the body work abnormally. It affects the mental and physical abilities to prepare the body for the next day, and it leaves the brain exhausted, and this in turn affects the natural functioning of the body. So, we go with mental exhaustion. Metabolism loss. Now, metabolism loss is an extreme case. The author says that, let me take you back to that part so that we are able to focus on that clearly. Now, the author says that sleep deprivation can lower levels of leptin, a hormone that stabilizes metabolism and appetite, and can increase or raise levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Now, when both of these hormones don't function normally, then metabolism gets affected adversely or in a negative sense. But saying that sleep deprivation results in absolute or total loss of metabolism would be too extreme. So, let us eliminate this. Okay, 3 is clearly the correct one. Fine.